Hey everybody, my name is Miss Edwards. In this video, we are going to focus on varying sentences. Let's get into it. You might be saying to yourself, vary, what is that? So the first thing we want to do is define this word, vary. So we are going to vary sentences by changing the sentence type. There are many different ways to vary your sentences, but for this particular video, we're just concentrating on changing the sentence type. So a quick review, if you don't remember the different sentence types, we said there are 4 that we're looking at: the statement, declarative sentences, command, imperative sentences, question, interrogative sentences, and exclamation, exclamatory sentences. Why are we doing this? It's important to vary your sentences for a number of reasons. So we want to emphasize the most important parts. We want to make our writing more clear. We want to make our writing more interesting. And good paragraphs have varied sentences. So before we look at a paragraph, let's practice varying our sentences. Okay, so we are going to practice varying our sentence type. So we define the word vary and we know it means to change. So we're going to change some sentences. So for example, we want to change the statement to a question. Okay, so this statement says about 4 billion people use social media. We want to turn it into a question. And so if we remember questions end with a question mark, and they usually start with a question word. Okay, so about 4 billion people use social media. So if we're changing this, we could change it to something like, how many people use social media? And do 4 billion people use social media? Okay, so either of these work. Whatever you create could possibly work as well. Let's look at another example. So we're going to change this question, do you use social media, to a statement. So if we think about statements, they are declarative and they end with periods. One example would be, I don't use social media, I do use social media, or about 4 billion people use social media. Another example, we want to change this statement to an exclamation. So if we review, exclamations are exclamatory sentences that show excitement, surprise, shock, and they end with an exclamation mark. For example, my dad just joined WhatsApp and YouTube this year, and to change it to an exclamation, my dad joined WhatsApp and YouTube this year. The only thing that I changed was I added the exclamation mark. You could even make it shorter. He joined WhatsApp this year. He joined. So we want to change the statement to a command. People should use social media responsibly. Okay, so we want to change it to a command. So commands always start with a verb. The sentence I have is use social media responsibly and balance your screen time. And we have them starting with 2 verbs. In this sentence, it is use, and in this sentence, it is balance. Now let's practice varying our sentences in paragraphs. People use social media. People use social media for a number of reasons. They use social media to communicate, for education, and for employment. Some use social media for business. Even though some people believe that social media is a distraction, it is important to note it is a major part of our lives. Like all things in life, we have to find balance when using social media. People have to use social media responsibly. So this sounds boring. It needs to be spiced up. The sentences in this paragraph could be varied. Okay, so let's vary the sentences. The first sentence I'm going to change is the topic sentence. The topic sentence needs to pull in your reader. So I'm thinking it's probably a good idea to start with a question. So we're going to change the TS stands for topic sentence, to a question. How would that look? Why do people use social media? Okay, let's look for another sentence to change because this paragraph is important and we need to get excited about it. Okay, so sentence number 2, some use social media for business. We could change this to an exclamation and it would be, people even use social media for business. Remember, it's an exclamation and your voice has to go up. Okay, let's look for another one. Number 3, people have to use social media responsibly. We could change this to a command. Use it responsibly. Now we have a paragraph with varied sentences. I'm going to read it to you, and I hope you notice the changes. Why do people use social media? People use social media for a number of reasons. They use social media to communicate, for education, and for employment. People even use social media for business. Even though some people believe that social media is a distraction, it is important to note it is a major part of our lives. Like all things in life, we have to find balance when using social media. Use it responsibly. Let's recap. So vary means to change. Good paragraphs has sentences that vary. Varying sentences makes our sentences more clear and interesting. Well, I hope this video helped. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Peace.